we are back with another podcast episode from Blended to Besties. I don't even know what number this is.
I think this is 8.
Okay, 8. We're on number 8.
This is number 8. Today we are going to be talking about just how we got into social media and how social media has been since we've been on social media, kind of how it all happened for us.
Yes.
The ups and downs, we get asked all the time. People who want to be on social media and people, So we figured we would just kind of give our backstory on that.
Yes.
So we're just hanging out. We're going to do some Christmas crafts with the kids today. We started Vlogmas, so if you have not followed us on YouTube, please do.
Yes, follow us. We're Moms of Tampa on YouTube. We also have the podcast there, the video version, if you guys are hearing it in audio version only. Mm-hmm. Are we doing a backstory on this one or behind whatever?
I figured we would start, because we have said on previous, I think other podcasts about, why we started, but I don't think, I think we should start like where our first video went viral. Because we were just doing TikTok for fun.
Yes.
We were doing TikTok, just, having a good time,
Yes.
And then I remember we were trying to get me to go on live, because I was only on your live for a while.
Yes.
I ended up hitting 1,000 followers, and then we were trying to get to 10,000 because I wanted to get into the Creator Fund.
Yes, and it was going to be changing from 10,000 to 100,000 that same week.
Yes.
And we were like, oh no.
So we ended up going to your house, Travis and I and the kids. We ended up going to your house and spending the night. And Tiffany and I were on live all day.
Yes.
And we were drinking.
Oh yeah, those days.
Doing shots all day during the day. And we ended up convincing our husbands to take us out to go drinking at dinner. And we were doing tequila shots, living our best lives, and we did a TikTok in the parking lot of Tiki Docks, which is the restaurant that we went to.
And it was just such a simple, I don't even know what we were trying to do, because our intention wasn't that video. We were trying to do something, I can't even remember the song. I don't remember what the song it is. It was just something where it was Mike by himself.
And then it was...
And then you and I jumped in.
Yes, and it said something along the lines of, when
you get divorced thinking you'll never see your ex-wife again, and then be like, but she's best friends with your new wife.
Mm-hmm. It was something like that. And then I took the same video but wrote, my point of view on it. And we posted the video a couple days later, because we didn't post it then.
No. Because
we were in separate houses when we posted it. And I remember posting the video, and you posted yours first. And you were like, oh my God, Megan, you should post that video. Mine's doing really well. It's already at 30,000.
Yeah, it had blown up. Yes, it blew up because I was at work, or I was working from home, but I was on the computer, and I was like, oh my God, it's blowing up out of nowhere.
Yes, and you had 25,000 on TikTok at that point. And again, I only had 2,000 followers at this point. So I was like, okay. And so I was going on live. I posted the video, and then I was on my live. Because people were being very mean on yours. I remember that. They were so mean to you. And I was popping off on my live defending you.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that my video was blowing up either.
That was so long ago.
I know. Do you remember? And so then you texted me and you were like, Megan, stay on live. You're like, your video is blowing up. And I was like, what? You're like, yeah, it's at 500,000.
That was back when us being on live actually blew our videos up.
Yeah. And I was like, what the? And you were like, I'm coming over. And I was like, okay. I was like, we should be on live together.
I know. It was so...
That was back before Dual Live, though. They didn't have Dual Live.
No, they didn't have Dual Live, so we couldn't do a live together. I was still working from home, and I packed up Michael, packed up all of my work equipment. I was like, job, who needs it?
Yes.
And hauled ass over here.
Yep, so she got here as quick as she could. We were on live for 3 hours. We were sitting here drinking, battling everyone that was coming at us. And
there were because there were so many mean
hundreds
comments.
and hundreds and hundreds of people on that live.
Yeah.
Which, when you have 2,000 followers, is very overwhelming. And it was insanity. We were both over here It was crazy. And I remember getting off that live, and that video had like 2 million views, and I had like 20,000 followers. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh. I remember I told Travis, I was like, oh my God. I didn't get paid for that video because I wasn't at.
No, you were on the creative.
I wasn't in the creative fund yet. But, so that was our first viral video.
Yes. Yes. That was both of our first viral videos that I remember, because it's still popping off to this day.
Yes, I still get notifications for that video.
I'm pretty sure that was also the first time I cried about comments, is when I got home, because remember that was when we were responding to every single comment, and then the comments got mean, and we didn't have anything filtered yet, so we got to see every single comment, and people were jumping up on top of each other, being mean and jumping on the bandwagon, and I cried.
Yeah, that video for me. There were a lot of I had the majority of the nice comments. You had all the mean people.
Yes.
It wasn't until a couple other videos that I got a lot of mean ones, and people were nice to you.
Yeah, some of the ones where we posted the same exact video, but something was a little bit different. They were either being nice on yours or nice on mine, but it was never nice on both. Mm-hmm. There were just some mean-ass people. I'm trying to think of the second one that I went viral in.
I think it might have been, I mean, we've had a lot go viral, but like hella viral was probably the ones we were in my garage with the husbands also.
Yeah.
The talk to me, I talk back.
They were thinking, yeah, where people were saying that the husband weren't tough or whatever.
People were so mean. That was the first one where they were being mean to our husbands too, because in the first video, my husband wasn't in it, so people were just attacking, saying that like we were.
Or yeah, they were either attacking. No, they were saying that he should divorce me, or that you were being a snake. That was the whole original thing about, oh, she's only there to ruin your marriage.
And then, so yeah, we got a fair taste of horrible mean comments. And
anytime and I've seen people say this, so I know it's not just us, but I've seen everyone say it. Lexa said it too. The only time our videos tend to go viral is when people are mean. Like, our videos don't ever go viral for the right reasons or with a bunch of nice, awesome, sweet comments. Our virals go video, and then we just deal with the most meanest, rudest, disgusting people on social media. That's what blows us up, is the bad people somehow. You know what I mean? Because it's the bad people that are blowing us up. Like, no one good is commenting, and it's like, oh my God, so many good comments blowing you up. It's when the drama starts, that's when the videos blow up. And like, you think it's such a good thing, but it's like, you're getting bigger over such a negative aspect of a video that you didn't even have the intention of creating the negative side. Like, this whole upgrade, downgrade that everyone does. Like, I didn't post this video so you could tell us who's better looking.
I know. That's
thanks, but no thanks.
With the comments on our video, you would think that we would be like promoting drugs or something. Like, we are promoting healthy co-parenting, and some people just hate it.
They don't see it, or they think there's like something sneaky behind it. It's insane.
The one where, I don't know if you remember or not, the one that I did of me and Michael with the Nerf gun.
I didn't get to see the mean comments on those because you took it off as quickly as possible.
That video literally went from me posting it to 1 million in a few hours, and I was on live getting ready, and someone messaged me, or they commented on my live, and they said, you need to turn the comments off on that video. And I was like, what? And I looked at the comments, and it was people attacking my son. Calling him all kinds of names, like being so mean and so nasty to a 10-year-old boy. Man, I was so upset that night. I remember I texted you and I was like, I don't want the videos ever again.
Yeah,
like,
you said that, and I think people
upset.
said you were popping off on your live, like you were super mad and upset because I think I was still working. So it was the
next morning. The next morning, I came outside at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I sat down, I had some coffee, and I had went through all of my videos. Any video that the kids were in, and I turned the comments off. And actually, a lot of my older videos, the comments are not, they're still blocked with the kids. And I was like, I will never post my kids ever again. I was like, you guys are disgusting. Like, how dare you go after a 10-year-old boy?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just like, oh, he's ugly. Like, people were being disgusting and nasty. And I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I never got to see that one. I don't think I've ever seen any mean comments about the kids on my stuff. I think it's either been you and I, you against, like us against each other, or the husbands. Like they just love to attack the husbands. And it's so funny that they love to like, they bring up like if the husbands were gonna fight them, like, oh, I can take them on, I can beat them, and then like you go on their profile and they're either like 10 years old or they look like they never left their mom's basement. It's like, who asked you whether you could take my husband on? Like, I don't care.
My favorite is when the people are like, I'd rather have the blonde one, or I'd take the brunette, and I'm like, you're not taking either of us. I would never look in your direction a day in my life, bro. Like, if I saw you at the grocery store, I would literally step over you to go grab a cow's foot. Like, there's no way that I would even look in your direction. So the fact that you would rather, and neither would she, okay? So
that they're picking and choosing. You know, I never thought of doing that.
Not a day in my life would I ever even look in your direction, bro. Like,
we should start replying when they're like, I picked this person over that person, and be like, I picked my husband over you.
Yeah, like I would pick my freaking third cousin over you, bro.
Yeah, they're just
like, yeah, there's not a no. People, and it's so funny because like the people who I've never seen like a super good looking person that's left a nasty a nasty comment. It's always like the people who look like they live in the mom's basement that's leaving the nasty comment.
Or like user 6788 who's never had a profile. Yeah, never had a profile picture in their life.
Or the people who have like religious quotes in their bios or whatever.
Don't even get me started, because I always take what they put on their bio and like send it back to them. I'm like, what about this? What were you referring to?
This doesn't look very live, laugh, love to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think God would appreciate this. It's so funny. But so we had those videos go off. We grew very quickly. We had several videos. The ones that we did with our husbands in the garage that day, every single one of those videos did really well.
They did.
And so we were, excuse me, sorry.
I love that for you. Burping on the podcast.
It's the coffee, okay.
It's the ASMR for me.
I'm sorry. So after that, we decided to take it more seriously because we had, there's a child coming out. And that's the one I was making the face at earlier for anyone watching on YouTube. It was my child looking at me through the sliding glass door. So after we had, and don't quote me on the dates, but after we had a few videos pop off, we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages of people asking us for advice. And people just wanting to see more of our everyday life. And, on TikTok, there's not really a whole lot of, here's what I'm doing every single day. Yeah. We just did not have the time for it. So we decided to start Instagram. Tiffany called me and goes, I did a thing. And
I did say that because you were like,
and I was like, oh my God, do you need to hide anything at my house? Like, how much money did you spend? Like, how do I cover you? Like, what did you buy?
Well, it was because we didn't have a name back then. I was still under the TRV Beauty TikTok, and you still had your name on your TikTok. Mm-hmm. And we talked about turning this into like a social media thing, but we didn't have like a set name, and we never sat down and talked. But I was snooping through Instagram of what was available and what was not, and I saw a username that used to be available, or used to be taken, and now it was available. And I was like, let me see, let me try it. I think I was trying to take something different. I was trying to take maybe like a Tampa Moms or like a Tampa Bays, like how Tampa Bay is always a thing, and it was already taken. So I was like, damn. I saw Moms of Tampa was available. I took it, and if you search for a username and you use it, like you have to keep it, I think, for a certain amount of time before you can change your username. So as soon as I got it, I was like, oh shit, well, we got it. We got it, I think, for at least 30 days before we can change it again. So hopefully Megan likes it or not. And that's when I called you and I was like, I did a thing. Like, I couldn't even talk to you and be like, how do you like the name Moms of Tampa? Because I took it.
Yes, and then you changed your TikTok name to Moms of Tampa. And then
that was the biggest thing I had before that. Remember, because I think it was Gabby who told me to change it. And I was like, I don't know if I should or not. Yeah. And I called you and I was like, I don't know if I should be taking Moms of Tampa and like switching it to TikTok or keep the TRV Beauty and create a new TikTok. And I wasn't sure how that was going to be with losing the followers for my beauty account and switching to the mom account. But I did it.
It turned out well.
I did it.
And then everyone... I don't know why I switched mine to Moms of Tampa too. Maybe just so... I don't know.
I think because people kept asking... Hold on, I have to fix this camera. There we go. People kept asking, like, is it only one account? And we would say, you know, there's actually 2 accounts, but it would be Moms of Tampa and then Megan, and kind of threw off the vibe. And I'm sure people weren't understanding why yours said your name and mine didn't say my name.
Yeah, so I took Moms of Tampa too. The idea is, you know, eventually having one be a backup account, but then we both still do post things that are just relevant to our own lives.
Yeah.
Like she posts stuff with just her and Mike. I post stuff with just me and Travis. And now we do have a backup account. And it was just a whole thing. So we ended up getting on Instagram to help people out. Like answer questions.
Yes.
And still to that day, like if you need something answered or, you know, you want to talk to us one-on-one, and you're more than likely to get through on Instagram rather than TikTok.
Yes.
So we started to grow on Instagram, reaching out to local businesses and stuff, like trying to really make that like our, hey, we are Tampa.
Yes.
Tampa Bay, baby.
Trying to go from just like 2 co-parenting moms on TikTok to actual like parent or mom influencing,
yes.
And it's turning it basically to a job where we make money, that we're not just doing this for fun as a hobby, like we turn this into a job.
And then it just got to the point where we were just doing so many things, and it was taking so much time because then, you know, we started YouTube, and now we have a podcast, and it was just so much that we were like, damn, like if we really want to do this, we really got to do this.
Yeah, and I was still working full time, so, and I think my hours were like 11 to 7, so it was such a weird hour too, where I really couldn't do much because I was working. I mean, we went to the beach trying to have me take the laptop with me so I could continue working while we were at the beach, and that was still very difficult to do. So then we decided that if we were going to do Moms of Tampa seriously, like as a job, I would have to quit my job to do this full time. And I think you tried to tell me to quit my job for like 3 months.
I did.
Like, just quit your job.
Quit
your job.
I was like, just quit your job. Your job sucks. Just quit your job.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. Social media really has, I mean, it's great. We love it. I mean, obviously you know, we're doing a lot of things with it. I love when people come up to us, and I love when people tell us about how, you know, we impacted their lives and how, you know, they look at things differently because of us now.
Yes.
But I mean, it's also terrible.
It's forced us to definitely get thick skin.
Yes.
I think I've cried more over like social media being bullies to me than like me getting like dumped ever.
People, and it's so easy because some days, you know, you're just like, it's fine. Like I say it all the time, like the days that you're like feeling like shit and you're like, oh my god, I hate these people are so good. Are the days where I'm like, don't worry about it, don't read it, be strong, it'll be fine. Those people. And then the days that I'm like, oh my god,
you're popping up on Instagram. I'm like, Megan, I need to delete all of them.
Megan, be nice. It's fine. Those people are stupid. But we definitely still have those days. I mean,
I had it this morning. Someone said something stupid. I can't remember what it is now. Like it obviously doesn't mean much because they forget about it just like I do. But like I saw their mean comment and I responded very sarcastically. And then I was like, is it worth it? And I was like, it ain't worth it. And then I just like deleted the comment or whatever. And she never responded since. So I didn't even block her. I just deleted the comment. And any single time I see like a comment and let's say it says like it's been posted for like 6 seconds, I delete it. I'm like, you just wasted your time on a comment that I just deleted so no one will ever read it.
You know what I don't understand? And I was thinking about this when I was in the shower the other day.
I love that for you.
Why is it? Okay, so we're like considered influencers now, right?
Yes, I think.
We're influencers. I mean, I don't know what we're influencing, but co-parents, people to co-parent.
Yeah, people seeing things in a different light. I think
why is it that people can say whatever they want to us? They can literally rip us a new asshole. But we have to be the bigger person and not say anything back.
Because I spoke to Mike about this because I have said it once before too. I'm like, why are people so mean?
But we're not allowed to say anything. And with TikTok and Instagram too, like people, you can say whatever you want, but as soon as the creator responds, your account can get taken down and deleted.
That's the thing though. So when people put a message, 9 out of 10 times what I've noticed, they don't think we're ever gonna see it or reply to it. So they just think that they can say it and get their like 2 cents of like making fun or mocking or being mean. When we respond, they're like, one, oh shit, I never thought you were going to see this. And then 2, what Mike had told me, they don't see us as people. Like, they just don't see us as like real people who have feelings. When Mike says like when people send mean comments, they just think they're just sending it to like a Moms of Tampa entity, and they're making fun of the entity, but that not that they're actually like legitimately bothering people. He's like, that's why they have the balls to say it, because it's not like, no one's gonna say that to your face, because obviously we're real in their face. They just say it because they just think they're like just like throwing it out to the air, and they never have to deal with it again.
People are just so mean. Like,
and 9 out of 10 times, I'll go back through some of our comments and see a mean comment from 4 weeks ago, and I'm like, man, I didn't see it 4 weeks ago, and technically I would have never seen it, and that person just posted the comment, thinking we'll never see it, and logistically, we would never really see it with how many comments we get sometimes, so I just
don't understand, like, how people are so mean.
It makes them feel better about their lives? I have no idea.
People just, like, really hate what we're doing.
I don't think they hate what we're doing. I think they hate their own life, and we're targets.
I think so, too.
Because, like, the people who've never been...
I would never!
Yeah, the people who've never been divorced, the people who don't have kids, the people who are never married, and they're commenting on our stuff, and I'm like, but it legitimately doesn't affect you. Like, you are not in the position, you are a single 20-year-old girl, like... I don't get it.
Never. Well, then don't.
Yeah.
Damn. Like, I really don't understand. Like, me, when I see something on Instagram or TikTok or something that I don't agree with or I don't like or I think stupid, I just scroll on.
Same.
Like, I don't take time out of my day to comment on them and to be like, you know what? I would never eat this because I don't even like octopus. Okay, great. Then why are you commenting on it?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, the octopus recipe does not apply to you. So maybe, leave the commenting for the people who are actually curious about the octopus recipe.
Yeah.
Go on with your life. No one cares that you're, oh my God. The people who, like, just project their own shit onto me and just talk about, like, their miserable lives. And it's like, I feel bad. Like, I do. I really, and I feel bad that you're in that position, but
yes.
That literally has nothing to do with what I'm talking about in the video.
That's how I feel when people, when we post about step-parenting stuff and people are like, well, my step-parent, sexually abused me or something like that. That's why I hate step-parents. And I'm like, I'm so sorry you went through that, but, like, why would you, like, post that on my stuff and be like, that's why I hate step-parents? Trying to, like, put that negative, like,
yeah,
we're clearly not in that position.
We're talking about our Christmas list with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, why would you bring that up and put that on here?
And it's like they think that I'm defending step-parents, like, no matter what. Like,
yeah.
Yes, you were, abused, like, that's fine, you still need to respect your step-parents. Like, I'm not saying that at all. Like, if you went through something like that, you can go hate your step-parent. I would hate the step-parent too, but, like, you're making it seem like I'm defending all step-parents, whether they do something good or bad or evil. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm not. I'm simply saying if they're doing the right things like what I do, they should be respected. Now, obviously, if you have a situation like that, then, they can go fuck themselves, but we're not talking about that because that's not our position. Like,
yeah.
It's like they think that, like, they take our words and they spin it, like how they say we're promoting divorce. Like, we want people to get divorced and find their best friend. Like, I didn't say that!
How many married couple or someone who's happily married, they're in a marriage, they're happy, it's their first marriage, comment on our stuff and they're like, I would never let another woman... Ma'am, you're married. Like, why...
Live your best life. Stay married. Be happy.
Like, this is our content. Of course, if you like the content, that's great.
Yeah.
Content is for the people who are co-parenting.
Who are in the position of trying to create a healthy co-parenting environment.
People who want to co-parent. Yeah. People who find our stuff funny. If, if you're sour about, having your partner remarried, maybe come across one of our stuff and be like, damn, this could be me. Wow, I'm glad I saw this video. Let me change my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it has nothing, oh my God. And then the men who literally, obviously, don't have any kids, don't co-parent. They're just like, that one's ugly. Like, I asked you what time you saw my video.
I know. It's honestly insane. And I think one of the things that drives me insane that even though we are trying to promote healthy co-parenting, we don't apply to everyone. And I understand that and I respect that. I don't know why people think that we're trying to promote it for every single person. Like when people are like, hey, like my ex used to beat the crap out of me. I could never do this. I don't recommend you doing it. 100% stay away from him. But like, don't come on here and be like, that's not okay that you're telling women who are abused that they should learn a healthy co-parent. Be like, I never said if you're abused, healthy co-parent. Like, obviously, that's not a situation that we're not in. Like, we're just saying this is a possibility if you are in these parameters, I guess you could say. Because I feel like everyone's always like,
they just take what we say so literally. You know what else bothers me too? Is they take a video, and you can tell they don't follow us. It's the first video that happens to come across their For You page or whatever. And they take that video so literally. Like, they know our entire lives based off of a 20-second video. And I'm like...
The amount of disclaimers I have to put on it.
And you know what? That's the whole thing too, is we don't have time to put disclaimers on every single video. It would literally take up the entire video and just ruin the video. Like, yeah. But I feel like with the ones that might end up on the For You page, the one that might do well, I have to put so many disclaimers because I don't want to have to defend myself in the comments all the time.
Yes.
Like, it's so annoying. And someone commented on one of our Instagram posts I saw the other day. She was like, I really wish you would stop putting ex-wife, new wife, stepmom, mom on every one of your videos. And I'm like, do you know how many times we get asked that? Hundreds.
There's a reason.
Hundreds of times.
There's a reason why we have to do that. Because, yeah, it took away that question of who's a bio mom, who's a stepmom, who's the ex, who's the new, and all the questions that we get.
Trust me, it annoys us too.
I know. But
it's just, social media is just, it's a whole thing.
And the whole reason why we did this, to do this, was because we never, it's so weird. Before we did this, we never saw co-parenting anywhere.
We saw, at least I did, I occasionally saw April and Lo.
I think I saw them once, but like we never saw it was a thing. We never saw it was possible. We were told by hundreds of people that a stepmom and bio mom being friends was weird and awkward. Yeah, definitely. And then as soon as we're blowing up on all these videos and creating content, we like got on a whole different side of social media of people who've been doing this for years. And it's just like, this is why we're doing it, because if we didn't do it otherwise, maybe that one girl who thought it wouldn't exist, like, is now seeing our stuff and now she's knowing it's possible. Like, that's why we're doing it. It's not a one size fit all. It doesn't apply to everyone. It just, what we used to say, what works for us may not work for everyone.
Yeah, and it's something that we're obviously passionate about too, because like we've said a million times also, is, you know, we weren't always where we are today. And I'm sure there was, I mean, I know for me, there was a time where I was like, it's never gonna, this is how it's gonna be forever. It's never gonna get any better.
Yeah.
And look at us now. Because we actually put the time and effort in to get to know each other and make that first step. And you know what? I mean, it definitely could have gone south and not, you know, as well as it did. And then maybe, you know, we would have tried again, or, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. I think, honestly, 90% of the people, minus the people, I mean, obviously, who were beaten, and the ones who want no part of their child's life. And, you know, there are, but I'm talking about just the people who, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I mean,
they could have their problems fixed.
Yes.
The majority of them. If you were being
typical,
or your spouse is in prison, or your spouse is a deadbeat dad and wants no part of it, obviously, then, you know, we need to take a different route.
Yes.
And we honestly can't give you advice on that anyway, because we have not been in that position.
And that's the big thing, I think, out of all of it, is that we're just showing a typical situation of people who go through typical divorces. You know, you guys, the typical being you don't get along, or you're not working out, you divorce, you live two separate lives, which is where the parallel parenting came from, that most people tend to do. We wanted to show people that co-parenting is a possibility with extreme situations like the abuse or, you know, child abandonment or whatever. That requires maybe like an extreme solution that we don't know about because we've never been in that position. We're just talking about you know, A plus B equals C. Like, this is the only equation we got, so this is the only equation we can speak on.
Even with things like cheating, you know, I get asked all the time, and I want to do a whole separate podcast on this, but how would you, because people say all the time, oh, the reason you guys are friends is because A, B, and C. And I'm like, actually, no, it's because we worked at it, one, and we actually both wanted to. But if Mike did cheat on me with you or someone else, or, you know, whatever, would we still be in the position that we are today? And I think it definitely would have been longer.
Yeah, it would have taken time.
The way that my advice is for people to look at it is at least you're not with that person anymore. You know, that's her problem now, that she's with somebody who is a cheater or whatever. And he may not cheat on her, and that's fine. But you don't have to be with that person anymore, and that's why, at least that's my mentality, and that's the advice I would give to the people who are in that position where at least you're not with that person. You don't have to worry about being cheated on by that person anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that I could even, I mean, it would hurt and it would suck. And I would, you know, and
the hardest
that's such a podcast topic, because I'm like, you know, blame you, don't blame you. You know, the husband could speak for his damn self. You know, it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't just blame you.
But we know people who have cheated and
my
are
dad.
co-parenting.
My dad and my mom and my stepmom.
Yeah.
They were all, my dad cheated on my mom with my stepmom. But it's just,
I've had people ask me.
Thing.
People have asked me if Megan, if you were still single, would we be like the way we are? And I'm like, honestly, like it's so hard for all these scenarios when people ask us like if this and this, would we this? Because I'm like, we're not in that position. I don't know. Like I could tell you, yeah, we would still be best friends. Or I could tell you, no, we would hate each other. I don't know, because if you would have asked me in the beginning when we first, you know, when I first met Mike and he brought, you know, up that he had an ex-wife, if we were be where we were now, and I would have been like, hell no. If you would have said,
question,
are you hanging out at, you know, your husband's ex-wife like every other day? I'd be like, I would not step foot anywhere near her house. So it's like you never know. I don't know.
Would we still be friends? We should do a podcast on that. Really deep dive in. If I would be friends with you if you cheated together with Mike while we were still married, and then would you be friends with me if I was single?
I don't know. Girl, I remember the day where Mike said that he wanted to live closer to you, and he's like, we can like live, we don't have to live like be next door neighbors, but we can live in the same community. And I was like thinking it was like the end of the world, because I was like, I will kill this man if he thinks I'm gonna live anywhere near his ex-wife. And then come 4 years later, I'm like, Mike, the house door down for Megan is free.
How do we get that?
It's two very different things. And I think even everyone who's ever known or if they knew me beforehand and they know me now, they're like, remember that one time that you were like, just the thought of Megan, you're like, there's no way in hell. I was like, I know. It's insane, because I never thought it would be possible. I thought it was just going to be so toxic for the rest of our lives, because that's all I've ever known. So it's like when people ask me like, would this, I'm like, I don't, honestly, at this point, anything is possible, because if we were able to become friends the way we did on our own, I think if we're mature enough to just do that out of nowhere ourselves and work through communicating, we probably could be able to communicate through anything else.
I think it would be, you know, it takes time, it takes maturing and time, like with any situation. Like, you know, I mean, the way that I am now versus where I was 5 years ago, I'm a completely different person. And that was just me changing and growing. That has nothing to do with, you know, having to co-parent. I've matured in every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
So if there was cheating involved or whatever, I think that we could get through it. Because again, the goal, no matter what the situation was, you know, for us to co-parent and all be in a healthy situation for the kids.
Yes.
And that is the end goal. So we would still need to get to that goal. It would take a lot of healing on my part. It would take a lot of trust. But, you know, I had to do that anyway, minus the cheating.
Yeah.
So I think that we would. Again, it would take a long time. And I think it would be easier if, you know, if it, let's say hypothetically, it was with you, knowing that he was going to marry you and you were his person.
Is it the cheaty? Is that what it is? The cheaty, or is it still cheater?
The Cheeto? I don't know.
The Cheeto!
I don't know. I believe everything happens for a reason, and if that's what was meant to happen, for him to find you, or, you know, for me to get out of that marriage and push me to be where I am today, then that's what meant to be happen. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not with him anymore, so I'm not the one that has to deal with him anymore. So that's how I would look at it. As far as being single, I think it would definitely be a little hard. That would take a lot of trust, I feel like. But I feel like you would get to know me, like, today. Maybe even if Travis and I were to get a divorce tomorrow, do you think that I would try to go after Mike?
No.
Why do you say it like that?
Because when people ask me, like, initially, I think it would be a lot more awkward trying to be friends with, I don't know, I
feel like Mike would try to hook me up with his work friends.
Girl, I don't even think his work friends are old enough to be like married or settling down. Like they're all like young computer savvy people.
No, I'm not talking. I'm just talking about like that would be the vibe. I feel like you guys would try to hook me up with someone that you guys feel like you guys would get along with. I feel like that would be the vibe. We need to find Megan someone who, you know, that we like so that we can all co-parent together.
But I feel like because it was all four of us that got to be friends, like I feel like Mike's dynamic would have been a lot different if you were single. Because I feel like he has a bromance with Travis, so that mellowed him out. But do you think he would have mellowed out if you were still single? Or do you think he still would have been like, ugh, it's the ex-wife? Like continuing on, because it wouldn't change his perspective. Like now he sees you technically as like Megan's husband, Travis's wife. But I feel like he still would have seen you as the ex-single. I don't know if he would have like changed his viewpoint, and then I would have had to deal with that, and then that would have been awkward. Like,
no, we wouldn't have cared though. I don't know.
I think he would have like just stressed us out. Just kidding. If you're seeing this, Mike, I don't think
he still stresses us out. Though. He's still stressing me out.
So yeah, it's a very, very interesting thing, and
I love talking about hypothetical situations though, because I don't know, I'm just really good about seeing both sides, and I love a good hypothetical situation.
Girl, you know what? We're gonna create a hypothetical situation on a podcast.
Let me answer all of them.
Next podcast of like, would we still be friends if the first day we met we threw hands?
Yes!
I gave you a black eye.
Let's do that. Let's test it out first though. Okay.
That's your uppercut?
That's
not bad. I can't with her. Anyways though.
Yes.
As far as social media is,
it's hard.
It hasn't changed our friendship or anything, because I know people always try to tear us apart.
That's one thing that sucks is people are always forever. I mean, obviously
they be trying.
They try to pit us against each other, and it's like, why though? Like if we have a good thing, and obviously what we have is working for us, and we like it, and it's good for our family and our kids. Like, why are you always trying to like pit us against each other? Like, does that make you feel like what? Let's say it did. Let's say one day I was like, you know what? Tiffany is prettier than me. I hate this bitch. And I'm like, I'm never dating this. Fuck this co-parenting. Fuck that. I hate it. And then I just decided that I didn't want. That would literally tear our family apart. And would that make you happy? Like,
I think just people are so used to. You see it all over social media. These little cliques that get together, and then people tear them apart with the drama, and they're like ruined. I think people just want to see if they're capable of it. But it's like, we're not a clique though. Like, we're not like sitting together and just like trying to hang out with each other for the TikTok views. Like,
we literally,
it's our lives.
Literally
we're showing people bits of our lives. We're not just creating content all the time. Like the cliques that you do see are girls getting together, creating TikTok videos, going and then living their separate lives. Like on screen, we're together, and then off screen in our daily lives, we're together. So it's like,
yeah,
this is our lives. Like, stop doing that. Stop trying to burn us.
I would love to do I would love to do a part 2 to this. Like talking about cliques and stuff, and like
social media cliques and how we feel about them.
And if we're part of the ones that we have, or do we like try to like stick together alone and lie? And
we should.
That'd be a part 2 though. We need to write that down in the book, but we gotta cut this one short because we got other stuff we gotta do.
So if you guys want to see that as a part 2, comment below. Let us know. That'd be something fun to talk about. And give us possible hypothetical scenarios, I guess, of what you guys think we should, what we would do. We talked a little bit about if there was cheating, if we would still be friends, and if Megan was single, if we would be friends. So give us some hypotheticals, so we can think about, would we be in this position now?
I just love talking about stuff like
happened.
Mm-hmm. I love a good hypothetical situation.
And I think that concludes our podcast. Mm-hmm. So I think we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you on episode 9.
Damn, you remember the numbers so well. I can't with you. Bye, guys!